welcome to the SA Boxing Talk podcast. I'm here with Tashi, as she's rightly just told me. I was pronouncing it wrong right in the beginning, but very nice to have you on the show as the very first influencer that gave the SA Boxing Talk a shout out. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I feel honored.
All right, and you don't just do influencing and social media, you do other stuff as well. Basically, who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is Tashi, pronounced like cafe. I think a
French.
lot of people here get confused about it. So I have a full-time job. I'm a pharmaceutical rep, so it's a fancy way, a legal way of saying I sell drugs.
Nice.
And I do sort of influencing on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sort of influence, like what got you into like the influencing game? Did you see other people doing it and you decided to also do it, or where did it come?
To be honest, I never actually intended on that. I was just on Instagram and, I posted a few pictures and my following started increasing slowly. And then I started getting approached by brands, to kind of collaborate. So I kind of started from there. So I didn't go in saying, I want to be an influencer and, approaching brands. They sort of came to me and I was like, okay.
And who was the very first brand that approached you?
The very first brand, oh geez.
I'm going down memory lane.
I'm gonna think now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a skincare product.
Okay.
Bior. I think that was the first. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the first brand that approached me. So we did a collaboration where they sent me some of their products, and they had really amazing products as well. When people also approach me, you have to vet them. You have to make sure that they're legit, and it's not some rando, trying to scam you or something like that. So what you do is you have to do your due diligence. So you check their profiles, you Google them, whatever you can, whatever information you can get. And it's so easy to get information these days with social media and Google. So you do a full check, and then I'm also very picky about the brands that I associate myself with. So I sort of have to take all of that into consideration, because I don't want to be one of those girls that just accept a brand knowing that it's not cruelty free, or or knowing that it's not a good product. And a lot of people have complained about it, and then I'm going to be, hi, this is a great product, it's worked miracles. Also in my reviews as well, I'm very honest about my reviews in a nice way. So when a brand collaborates with me, if I don't really like the brand, I just say, it's not really working for me, but everybody's taste is different, so it could work for you. So you have to.
So these are honest reviews. Like you won't just because they gave you the product, you'll like say good things about them.
No, it's and I make it quite clear as well that it's not going to happen. If they genuinely want me to review their product, then I'm happy to do that. But they must accept the good and the bad.
Yeah. All right. And apart from just Instagram, Facebook, wherever you do your social media posts, is modeling and modeling with shoots. How's that experience been like for you?
So I like I said, I do it part-time. So it's not as hectic as some full-time models that have to do it every single day. I really enjoy it. The nice part is the dressing up and the glamorous, having your makeup done and seeing the pictures afterwards. The hard work is the actual shoot. I know a lot of people think it's easy. You just have to sit there and look pretty, but it's a lot of things you have to do for the photographer to kind of get their shot as well. I think you also do a little bit of photography, if I'm not mistaken. So you know what I'm talking about. So you have to like bend your back in this way and sort of turn to this angle, and then the sun is in your eyes, and then you're almost crying, but you have to get the shot. So yeah.
Do you have to sometimes like retake like many shoots, like pictures of the same pose, or?
Yeah, well, the photographers that I've worked with have been absolutely amazing. So, to be honest, the shoots haven't been that long. They usually get their money shot quite quickly.
Okay, that's not bragging.
Not bragging at all. But I listen to what they tell me to do. So I try and do whatever they tell me to do, because obviously they can see what's happening. So I think it's a good relationship and good partnership as well to get a good shot.
So you pick your photographers as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been approached by many photographers. When it comes down to what you're looking at, is it a matter of just also background checking their profile? What have they taken previously?
Definitely. So I have had okay, I'm not trying to be funny, but I've had tons of photographers approaching me, and some of them only do like boudoir shoots and stuff. So
I
okay,
can
those
see
are,
where they want to go with that. Yeah.
so those I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for considering me, but I don't do those type of shoots. And then also just photographers. I really don't mind if I see potential in them. They don't have to have amazing photos, but if I can see they actually have potential, I really don't mind collabing with them. But if it's like sort of really bad, I'm just like, I'm so sorry, I can't. I tell them in a really nice way because I know it takes a lot to ask as well.
It's like a courage thing.
Yes, so I don't want them to be put down. Maybe just work harder at it and try and learn new tricks or whatever it is and improve it, and then we'll see after that. Maybe ask me again.
So like when you're doing your shoots, what do you specifically do in your shoots? Do you look at like a dress and like what sort of preparation do you go through?
So it depends whether it's a collaboration shoot with the photographer or whether it's a shoot for jewelry or clothing or whatever. So if it's a shoot with jewelry or clothing, then they will tell you what to wear. Say, okay, we're going to have this, and this is how you're going to style it. And it's so important that the owner or the person in charge is there, because there are so many different ways you can wear that item of clothing, and they need to tell you exactly what they're looking for. Okay, put your hands in the pockets so you can show the pockets, that sort of thing. And then when it comes to shoots with collaborations with photographers, so usually they give me sort of reference pictures as to what they want to shoot.
Okay,
and usually those shoots have specific outfits, so I try to match it as closely as I can to that. Or I say, okay, I've got these outfits, but I really like this dress, so can we add it into the shoot as well? So that's how. Yeah. So.
Well, what's in it for you is like when you collaborate, like I'm assuming that you getting something out of it too. What is it in it for you? Just.
So with this photographer specifically, it's I'm getting great pictures and content for my page,
right.
Which obviously attracts brands.
Correct.
And it makes my page look so much more professional. So also they are kind of promoting me on their page because I'm the model and I promote them on my page.
Double exposure.
Yes, right? Yeah. So it's more for exposure with the photographers. Yeah, I would say.
Alright, so then I want to go back to a little bit of like pageantry that you did, which like a long time ago. In the archives there. Miss Earth, and I was doing my research and you were like part of the final 4, is that right?
Yeah. So I was one of the finalists.
Yeah.
It was ages ago, so I might leave out a few details.
Okay.
But there was my first national pageant that I entered, and I specifically entered Miss Earth because I liked what they stood for with regards to the environment and the community work that they actually did. So it was more than just a beauty pageant. It actually, you had a lot of projects that you had to do building up to the finals. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So there's just more to it than just getting like, on stage.
So it's not sort of, walking up and down the ramp and then they check how pretty you are, So it's largely based on the community work that you've done and the impact that you've made during your journey. So I was really ecstatic to receive my first call that I was a semi-finalist. Yeah. And they took us, so I was in KZN at the time, and we traveled to Johannesburg. That was my first time in Joburg.
What did you think of the city the first time?
Honestly, I didn't really get to see much of the city because we went to this place, so it's called the Earth House, and everything in it is environmentally friendly, from the light bulbs to the showers.
That's really cool.
Even when we eat, if we have leftover fruit peels or whatever, eggshells or whatever, they would actually use it as a fertilizer for the vegetable garden that they grew. So everything was sustainable in that house. It was such an amazing journey, and we came up and we did a few community projects together. Got to meet all of the girls from across South Africa. It was really nice. And then after that, they announced the finals, and I was ecstatic that I was in the finals as my first pageant. And also, just to give you a bit of background, I wasn't always into modeling.
Okay.
So, weirdly enough, though, I started modeling at a very young age. So, at the age of 5.
Wow. Okay. That's really early.
At the age of 5, and to be honest, it was my sister that was into modeling. She's 5 years older than me.
Okay.
So I just thought the world of her.
I was going to say you idolized her.
Exactly. And I literally did it because she was doing it and I wanted to be like her. So at the age of 5, there was just like a small junior modeling course that I did. And I don't know if you remember Red Nose Day. Red Nose Day. So they had Red Nose Day.
They don't do it anymore, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
It was Red Nose Day, and the graduation was at the pavilion, and we modeled for Red Nose Day.
Oh,
and then for a long time after that, I was just a complete tomboy.
Okay. Different phases of life.
Yeah. So I refused to wear any girls' clothes. I only wore these baggy boys' clothes. My hair was, I think, your length. Super short.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so I was a proper tomboy. I wanted to hang out with the boys. I wanted to play sports with the boys. I was not interested in being a girl at all. And then sort of at the age 12, 13, that's when I realized, okay, I think I like boys now. But boys don't like girls that look like boys.
Yes, so just change it up.
So I started, growing my hair out firstly, and then dressing a bit more girly. And then at around 13, 14, I started modeling again, and decided an advanced modeling and grooming course. And then, so that's where it all started. But this was the first national pageant that I entered, like I said. So I was really excited, and I was honored to just have made it to the finals. And the nice thing about it is that each province sort of had their own group projects that they needed to do, their green projects, and KZN won a Green Project Award. So I was part of that group. So that to me was an honor as well, to know that I made a difference at least in the community.
So you love, obviously you love looking after the earth, the environment, and
Yes.
that's the other thing that we're going to speak about, was the World Enviro Day that you did,
Yes.
continuing on that sort of path.
Definitely. So I do try every year to do something for Earth Day, whether it's planting a tree or doing something simple as recycling. Unfortunately, this year I was not well, so I was in hospital at the time. So when I got out, I still wanted to do something. So for that week, what I decided to do was that I wasn't going to shower for the week to save water. And that I was going to buy a cake and feed underprivileged plants.
Okay. Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I did buy for that week, I said.
Okay. I was just, yeah.
So what I did was I collected my trash for that week, and I just very diligently recycled it. There's so many recycling stations, like at Woolworths and Pick n Pay. I think almost every Woolworths has these small recycling stations.
Yeah.
But the Pick n Pay here in Hurlingham actually has a massive recycling station. So I recycle my plastic and my paper and all of
You
that.
do that all year round?
I should.
Okay.
Not as often as I'd like to, but I made sure I did it that week,
Okay.
the week of World Environment. And then I moved into a new apartment as well. So what I didn't realize is that I didn't check the light bulbs. So I checked the light bulbs and I replaced them with the energy savers.
Okay.
As well. So that was my small
You're doing your best.
contribution. Yeah. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have done more, but I was not well at the time. So
Okay.
something better than nothing.
Yeah. Well, at least you're continuing with your environment. It wasn't just like a
Yeah.
once-off thing and like.
No,
something-
definitely not. And I've attended one of the pageants as well after I was a finalist, just to support and
The same
that sort of
one,
thing.
the Miss Earth?
The Miss Earth South Africa, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I want to talk about something. I want to change topic real quickly
Yes.
to actually something that I added in last second because we were speaking about it
Yes.
before, which was catfishing. And obviously, being on social media, there's a lot of people that do get catfished. What was your experience?
So a while ago, I did have a Instagram account that was replicated with my pictures on it, and
They have a full-time job replicating you.
so
Wow.
copying me, copying my pictures and my profile.
Yeah.
And then I found somebody was kind enough to send it to me. And then I just posted it up on my page and I said, listen guys, don't accept any requests from this person and please report it to Instagram. And I think Instagram was really good with that, and they sort of just shut down that,
Yeah.
that page altogether. And then recently, when I say recently, a few months ago, someone, and I think you saw this, put a profile of myself on a dating website with a completely different name, thinking I wouldn't see. And I probably would have never seen if somebody didn't bring it to my attention. And I find it quite hilarious. Well, firstly, I feel honored that someone would think.
Okay, so you actually like. Okay.
I would feel honored that somebody would think they'd find a man with my picture.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, so thank you. But no, it's pretty scary because I just wonder what would happen when this person finally meets the other person.
That's the problem though. Like you take your picture and then when they actually meet, like what happens?
Hey, you've changed your face.
Yeah. And you've watched the show.
Yes,
on
Catfish.
MTV.
I've watched the MTV Catfish show. So, you know, it could be even another girl that's pretending to be, or even another guy.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, so with Catfish on the show as well,
I've seen
mostly when it's a girl's profile, it's actually another guy catfishing another guy. So it's a bit tricky when it comes to that. But I also just asked people that are on that website to please report it, and the person that showed it to me to please report it. There's not really much. It's sort of, your hands are sort of tied with these sort of things. You have to leave it to the...
Yeah, there's no control.
Yeah, so...
Is it one of the like problems with like public platforms? Like, you know, you can't control anything. Does it bother you?
Yeah, so I think a lot of these bigger influencers as well, you know, because there's so many pictures of them out there in the media, it's so easy to create these accounts. And for anyone that's not really big into social media, maybe they're not on social media, but they're on a dating website, it's so easy to do this. So it can be a little scary. And the amount of information that we've actually put out on social media is scary as well. So I try not to put too much information out there because you'd actually be surprised how many people can kind of find out whereabout you are on a daily basis or where you live.
Next level stalker.
Yeah, so especially the women on Instagram need to be very careful because they can post that they're at this party and you could literally have someone waiting there, waiting for them to go home, following them home, then they know where you live. So
would you not in that instance do like a delayed post? Like let's just say you take a picture of this party this week and like in a week's time you're like
100%. Yeah, that's exactly. So if you need to do something like that, that's what I would suggest.
Okay.
Not to do it immediately while you're still there because
someone will just pull up and
it's
dangerous.
It is.
Okay, so have you ever had any situations where someone potentially has stalked you or has, you know, anything to that degree?
Yes, I have had a few actually.
I was actually expecting you to say no, but okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, no, I have had a few, and it's sort of a little scary where somebody comes up to you and like, hey, do you live in this area? Like randomly, when you meet them in person somewhere, maybe at the gym or at the shopping mall or something. It's like, hey, by the way, do you live in, and you sort of don't know what to say at first because this person doesn't even introduce themselves or anything like that. And then your instincts are sort of like, yes, I do. Oops. Shouldn't have said that. And then they say, okay, do you live in this complex?
Well, and that's a bit much.
Yeah, then they'll say, because I saw your car coming out, or I saw you after gym going in there, or I saw you coming from the shopping mall there. So I've had a few situations like that, and I think the best thing to do is maybe not say that you live there, or just like, oh, it was probably a friend's house.
Do you feel like you're being rude by objecting to the like just refusing to answer the question?
I try and do it in a very nice way because you know, some people say it very innocently. They don't mean any harm.
Oh,
they sort of like trying to make conversation maybe in a creepy way. But so I try to be nice about it. I try not to be like, no, I don't live there, you know, and you being weird and stuff like that. I just be like, no, it's just at a friend's house, or no, I can't let you know that, or I'll joke and be like, oh, you're a stalker, I'm not going to tell you. But I try and be nice about it because you don't know what's going on in someone's head as well.
You've watched, I mean, how many of these series are like on Netflix and stuff where you just like...
So many!
You know, there's so many stories and you could literally be a statistic.
So many, yeah. And I mean, one of my favorite favorite shows are you.
We're actually talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean anybody could, and I think a lot of girls get that as well. So
I've just finished watching you as well. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed at the end.
Yeah.
It was an up and down series. The first episode was a bit slow, then it was getting into it. But yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first season. I enjoyed the second season, but not as much as the first. And then the last season, a little bit predictable, a little bit shocking. It's like mixed emotions.
A lot more deaths this time around.
A lot.
Yeah.
I suppose because both of them. I don't want to give any spoilers out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's not do that. But there has been a confirmed season 4, so will you be watching that?
Definitely.
Okay.
Count down the
so
days.
You're a fan, yeah?
Definitely.
All right. Okay, so let's go back to your social media and so forth. Doing brand collaborations with the likes of Woolworths. I mean, that's a huge brand.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So that's the thing with these shoots as well. So what I did was I was wearing something from Woolworths.
You tagged them.
And I tagged them.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's as simple as doing things like that. And the same thing with Superbalist as well. So I was wearing a coat from Superbalist and I tagged them.
Okay.
And then they messaged and they asked, can we use your image on our website and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something you can do.
Yes, that's something anyone can do. I mean, I would recommend if you want to be an influencer, tag all the brands that you're using. And then from there they kind of will approach you and say, hey, we know you're loyal to our brand and we love the way you style our clothes or whatever it is, and
they like what you're doing with their brand.
Yeah.
So basically,
it's recognition.
You're doing each other. You're collaborating. It's a simple collaboration where you both gain something.
Definitely.
All right. And the other thing that you're doing on social media is beauty products. Again, you spoke about it at the beginning. Is it the same beauty products or different ones now?
It's different. So I don't know why, but skincare products seem to like me a lot.
They come to
I seem to attract skincare products in specific. And it's so strange because I have such a love-hate relationship with my skin. Sometimes it can just be the best and I love it, and then it's just like breaks out, and so I like trying different brands as well. I'm open to trying different skin brands.
Okay.
My most recent brand that I'm collabing with is Cetaphil.
Okay.
So they just launched a new Bright Healthy Radiance range. And so I've been trying off their products and I'm super happy with them.
You're happy.
Yeah, I am happy with them. No complaints.
Okay.
Honest reviews.
That's what I was about to say. Like, you can't go back
honest
right now.
reviews,
Definitely. You got to
definitely.
keep strong on those.
Yeah, so it just depends, and it's not sort of a long-term thing. So when these brands approach you, they tell you how long they want to work with you for, and what they expect of you. So they'll say, okay, during the first week you need to post a story. Not give out the range, but sort of a teaser.
Yeah.
Then the second week you're going to announce the brand. Then the third week you're going to do a product review. Then the fourth week you're going to do.
It's quite structured then.
Yeah, so they tell you exactly what they need from you, and as an influencer, you obviously add your little creative vibe to it, and
you have to
make
unique.
it your own. Yeah,
right.
make it your own.
As an influencer, we can't all do the same thing, right?
Exactly. So, and it's amazing what people create these days. They really just go all out with how they present the products that they collaborate with and all of that. So I really admire these full-time influencers as well for their creativity.
Do you follow the trends of the other influencers, or do you do like your own thing? Because I know it can go against the grain sometimes, could not be beneficial.
Yeah. So in trend as in sort of the aesthetics for the posts, or trend as in fashion-wise?
So yeah, let's just say, for example, let's just go to TikTok, for example. We were talking about it earlier, like algorithm and so forth, where certain music or certain what do they call it when you act out a certain scene.
Yes.
Like some people just all do it at the same time.
I see.
And then you see the same video like 10 times with different people. Do you do that?
So specifically on TikTok, it helps to do that because once you step on what's trending, then you get pushed into the algorithm and more likely to come up on your For You page. So I don't always do it purely because it's mostly dance videos.
Oh, okay. And
I'm not a dancer.
Okay.
I'm not a dancer, so if I can do it, I would, but not necessarily. I don't necessarily hop on those trends.
But most of your TikToks are done in your car.
Yes. because I'm working all the time.
So you quickly throw, like, you got 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Like,
so I'm trying to build up my TikTok following. So
Okay.
to build it up is quite difficult. People don't realize unless your video maybe goes viral, or unless you're posting 6 to 10 TikToks a day.
Yeah.
So I try and do as many as I can. I think I do maximum 2 a day.
You quite
So
well
I'm
followed.
trying. I'm just trying, and it's difficult because by the time I finish work, I go straight to gym, and then after gym,
Exhausted.
I'm all tired and exhausted. I still have to cook and all of that. So I don't really have the time in the afternoons. So okay, I do my TikToks in the car while I'm waiting to see a customer or something. Just
Yeah.
in between, I quickly do my TikTok. Yeah.
How do you find the right ones to do though? Like how do you find, like, because you use someone else's like
Yes,
act out
voice
scene.
notes and yeah. So I love scrolling through TikTok, and I love the funny ones. So the ones I find quite hilarious, and I was like, I can do that. Then I like it and I keep it aside. So
okay.
when I get a chance to actually do it, I'll just like scroll through. It's like, oh yes, okay, I'm going to do this one today. So and it needs to be something sort of simple.
Yeah.
Because I also want to try and lip sync it properly.
That's the thing. I was gonna say, how many times do you have to redo a video because you're out of sync on one word, for example?
Exactly. No, it's quite a few times, but you'd be lucky enough if it's just a small lip sync with not a lot of words, then you can get it done the first time, second time. But when it's quite a long monologue, what I find is there's a timer, so you can time it and do the first bit and then listen to the second bit and then do that bit and record it. You can do it like that. So the lip syncing is
I haven't got to that advanced stage like you yet. Okay, so well, in saying that, I mean, with lip syncing and everything like that, would you ever consider then, I mean, this is off topic now to what I've had my topic list were with acting. Would you want to do acting?
I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
I feel like my life is a drama, and I'm the main actress.
So you could literally do it then?
I could. I actually have been approached for something, but it's kind of put on hold because of COVID and all of that.
Okay.
So maybe in the future you might see me in a little clip.
Okay.
Watch
International
the
South
space.
African?
No, well,
You can
local
say 'cause-
for now. Local for now, yeah.
Okay, because I mean you can say because literally it's so the
Exactly,
amount
it's so
of things
broad.
yeah, it's so broad.
Yeah.
Like no one will even know.
Local.
Okay, cool. And then I wanted to ask. This is the big question for me.
Okay.
When I approached you the first time to do a shout out for SA Boxing Talk, they were the very first influence on the show, as I mentioned right at the beginning. What made you think, okay, this is a cool brand to collaborate with?
So, firstly, you asked me so nicely.
Okay.
So,
So manners is an important
exactly.
thing.
I appreciate someone that can respectfully ask me to collab. Then I did my research.
Okay.
Went and stalked a little bit, and I watched some of your interviews, and I just thought, well, I honestly don't think you have the recognition that you deserve.
Oh, thanks.
And I thought this is such a nice platform for local for local boxing, and there's not a lot out there.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be an honor to be involved in something like this, and I knew you would grow tremendously.
Okay.
I had faith, definitely. Like I said before, I see potential. Definitely, it doesn't matter how many followers you currently have, but I knew you were going to grow as well, and SA Boxing Talk.
I think back then I had like maybe like 100, 150 subscribers.
See, I saw the potential.
Now
I
it's
saw
like
the potential.
over 4,000. It's YouTube's one of the hardest places to get
It is,
following.
and I saw you have over 4,000
Yeah.
subscribers.
So it's grown now.
I'm so impressed,
So from
really.
then to now, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. So I mean, now doing it again. When I asked you onto the channel this time, was there any thoughts like?
No, yes. I was like,
Automatically.
before you even finish read the last sentence, I was like, yes, I'll do it.
Okay, yeah, because this is totally different to like boxing. I mean, it's so it's what I've been doing lately. The podcast here at the Gold's Gym in Samson, and
Yes.
it's an interesting thing because I've had people from all different backgrounds coming on the show, and I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the concept. What do you think about it? If you have,
I have watched a few of the podcasts,
Okay.
and I find it really interesting. And like I said, it's something that we don't really have for boxing in South Africa. So I was really interested, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm honored to be here and a part of it. And do you box, by the way?
I used to, not anymore. I put on some weight now. I used to box in 2015 and 2016. I used to box, and then I
Okay.
stopped and then I realized my journey was more suited to being a journalist and doing the reporting side, because someone had to do it. So
Yes.
I thought, let me do it, because at that stage I had, there's a whole long story why I quit boxing, but I had quit because of a lot of cancellations of events, and like there was 6 in a row, and eventually I just couldn't take it anymore. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop fighting, I'm gonna stop. I still continued training a little bit of boxing, but I stopped fighting. And then I moved on to this, and I haven't looked back since then. So I'm pretty happy with that.
I thought maybe you could teach me a few moves.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I actually, I started coaching as well towards the end. I haven't trained in a while, but I could definitely show you. Yeah.
Awesome.
Why do you like boxing? As
I find it, I would love to do it as an exercise, and I think it's also nice to have just as self-defense as well, I think it's so important. I've been wanting to do self-defense for the longest time.
Have you tried it before?
Just a little in the gym. One of the personal trainers, it was just a short session just to introduce me to it, but I really liked it actually. But it's difficult because I'm with a different gym, so these boxing gyms, you kind of have to take another contract out altogether, and so I just kind of put it to the back end. But if you're willing to show me, definitely.
So boxing, so maybe we should do some tutorials online as well, so that it would save you some time.
That would be great.
What's your thing on collaborations now? Like, if you get another channel similar to mine, or just anyone that's different, completely different to Woolworths, clothing, and skincare, how do you approach that?
I'm definitely not. I'm not excluding anyone. So I'm open to collaborations. It doesn't matter if it's not really. So my sort of forte is fashion. I love fashion. I would like to think my Instagram page is a fashion page. So that's what I'm really into. But if somebody approaches me from someone else, and I've actually had this approach before, someone wanted me to do a sort of podcasts and interviews for gamers, which is completely different. So I'm completely open to that sort of thing, as long as they are legit.
Do you game?
I don't. So that's what I'm saying. It's completely different to what I do on the norm. I like to go out of my comfort zone. So they sort of wanted someone that doesn't know anything about gaming to sort of ask the questions that somebody that is a gamer would ask.
You'll have a lot more questions then.
Definitely.
To ask then, because from an outsider, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
All right, I want to talk about social media and mental health. Not to say that it's necessarily a bad thing, social media, but I mean there are elements of it where people have suffered. Just on that note, have you had any experience on social media where you've not enjoyed it?
So I fully believe in positive energy and negative energy.
Okay.
So I feel sometimes I can feel it when I'm on social media too much, when I'm posting too much. I can actually almost feel a negative energy coming towards me. And I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but I really think it affects you, because that's when I start breaking out and, stuff starts happening, and then I'm like, okay, calm down on the social media, because I believe in bad eyes. I wear this evil eye. I wear this all the time because I do believe that they are people that not always want the best for you, that are watching you not because they support you, but they're waiting for you to fall and sort of fail. But I've had this before, and recently actually I took a 2-month detox.
We call it a hiatus.
Exactly, from social media, and just to kind of regroup myself and just let out all that energy and just soak up some positive energy. And once I was back, I was quite pleasantly surprised that I had messages saying, hey, we missed you, you've been MIA, we're so glad you're back, and all of that. So it's so nice to know that I was actually missed on social media.
Do you have okay, so this is the side of social media which is quite scary, is that you get when you get likes on videos and stuff, you get really happy, and then when you don't, you get really depressed. Is that
It's a thing, definitely. It's a thing, because and it's so bad, and we really shouldn't do this to ourselves, because it's almost like we asking for validation with every post that we but it's like, oh my gosh, this only got 100 likes. I usually get 500 likes.
What have I done wrong?
Exactly.
Don't people like me anymore?
But it's so strange. It also depends on the time of day you post, on the day you post, like Monday to Saturday, on the time. So when you go into your insights, you can kind of see where your audience is the highest. Yeah, I do. So you can see where your audience is the highest and what time you should post. Because when I first started off, I posted one picture in this outfit and it got so many likes.
Yeah.
I posted another picture in the same outfit, but it didn't get as many. And then as time went by, I realized, okay, this is how it works, because people are at work during the day, not really looking at their phones, or it's better to do it in the afternoon, it's better to do it on a certain day. You don't realize all of these things are taken into consideration. Yeah.
When you're looking at other influencers, like the full-time influencers, I mean, do you think it's an easy or hard job?
Definitely, I would say a difficult job.
Really? Okay.
I would say it's a really difficult job to have that sort of pressure all the time, to constantly kind of be what everyone wants you to be. It's a lot of pressure, and I think a lot of these social media influencers go through depression because there's a lot of hate that comes with the good. So there's a lot of people that just say nasty things and unnecessarily, just to try and break them down because they're doing so well. So I think it's a very difficult job, and to create content every single day, it is not easy.
That's exhausting.
It is, and you might think it's such a fabulous life. They go into events, they get all these packages, but I work with one brand at a time, and I still have to find the time to record, a review or whatever it is, and take the pictures, and if they're doing this on a daily basis, I can't even imagine. So I guess that's why they charge for every single post that they do, and they have so many followers as well, because they put in a lot of work.
But I can't imagine, like, if you get sick or something like that as an influencer and you have to take like a week out because you don't look your best, you don't feel your best.
Yeah.
It must be quite stressful.
No, definitely, because that's your bread and butter. It's something it's your income, and unfortunately you don't get leave days. So you don't get paid, you don't work, you don't get paid, you're not posting. I mean, at least if it's with a brand, you can still post pictures of the products maybe.
Yeah.
But most of these products, especially if it's fashion, they want you in the outfits.
Because you're ultimately the product that they are purchasing in that situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is very tricky. It is very tricky. And you find a lot of these social media influencers take time off and say, hey guys, listen, I'm going to be back in a week. I'm just not feeling myself. And then, but you do get a lot of really, really nice people that are so supportive. And like, we hope you feel better, that sort of a thing. So there are really nice people, and then there's just like awful trash people.
You can't please everybody. That's one thing I've like taken from life, is that you cannot make everyone happy. There'll always be someone unhappy and someone happy at the end of the day. Are you big into taking breaks now since you've done that 2 month?
Well, the 2 month, so the 2 months did me well, and I sort of got my health aligned as well. My health wasn't doing really well. So for now, I'm back on social media, and I'm ready to post, and I'm sort of happy that a lot of brands have actually approached me since I've come back, and so I'm in a good bubble, touch wood.
December's coming too.
But should I feel anything off, I'm happy to take some time off. It really doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect my income as such, because I have a full-time job. And also when accepting collaborations or whatever it is, I still prioritize my full-time job first. So I'll ask preferably to do it on a weekend or in the afternoons when I can do it. And if it's not possible, I'll try and take leave for the day. But I prioritize my full-time job.
Definitely.
First,
and your mental health as well.
Definitely.
you can't forget that.
No, absolutely. I don't think, and it's so nice that we can actually talk about it now, because mental health back in the day used to be so bad that if you were mentally ill, and I'm talking about like medieval days, if you had bipolar or schizophrenia,
people just thought you were weird.
People thought you were possessed.
Yeah.
That you were a demon or whatever, and they would lock them up in these wards and just, treat them awfully just because they didn't know how to treat them. And we're so lucky with today's modern education and medication that we are able to help people that suffer from these mental health diseases. And a lot of people were depressed in the past and never used to say so. It's sort of like,
you can't really say anything because people are going to say, oh, you're just weird.
Like, shake it off.
Bob is like this. You cannot possibly be like this. Or,
exactly. Like you're not depressed.
Look
at you. You look fine. I mean, you can get someone that looks fine every single day, go to work smiling and happy.
On the inside.
Exactly. And they're actually really depressed.
Yeah.
And at least we can openly speak about it now.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough to work for a company that does medication for psychiatric health as well. So I understand.
There are those issues out there.
those issues out there, and it's not in your mind. It's an actual thing. There's studies done to show how your brain actually works.
But you do get those people that do say, oh, it's all in your mind. It's like, just get it out.
Yeah, and it's easy for them to say because they're not depressed.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah. So it's not something you can just shake off and a lot of people try and they put a smiley face, but you can't help the way you feel at the end of the day. So look after your mental health. If you need a break from social media, definitely take it. If you feel you need help, you should reach out. Speak to somebody. There's the SADAC line as well that people can call. There's so many facilities and people that are there to help you nowadays, and we didn't have that support before. Before they would just call you crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But there's also another dilemma, right? So, although going off of social media is really good, but the other thing is like once you go off, don't you stress out about, oh, I'm not posting anymore or anything like that?
A little bit. So I haven't posted in a long time, and I like to post professional pictures like that I've done with photographers, but recently I haven't been doing any shoots, so I've been posting selfies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to post something now. It is a bit of a catch up that you have to do. It's not, you don't have to, but I mean to try and
feel like you should.
Yeah,
right?
to try
Inside.
and like close the gap. So yeah, you do feel a little bit of pressure to try and post more, and I usually do stories quite often because it's easy to do.
Yeah.
It's easy to show what you're doing today, what you're wearing today, what your mood is today, what are you drinking, where are you going to gym, that sort of thing. Those are fun things, and you don't necessarily have to be in the picture. You can post a picture of your gym or whatever it is and just put it on your story. So that I can keep up with, but the posts, I apologize. I need to, definitely work on that, but I'm definitely getting
the post is permanent, so you've got to make sure it's like
exactly.
Good.
You can't just
the
post
story
anything.
Disappears,
Yeah, within 24 hours. So the post, you have to make it worth the wait.
Yeah. Oh, who are the influencers that do you follow other influencers? And
I do. I don't necessarily follow any influencers, but a few of my friends happen to be influencers. Okay. Yeah. So
are they always influencers, or do they become influencers?
I think I met most of them before they became influencers.
Okay.
So they were my friends. I mean, Instagram is kind of hasn't always been there. My friendships are longer than the Instagram.
Right,
so I've sort of known them prior, and now Instagram has just blown into this marketing haven.
We're all getting those products in there.
Exactly. So it's kind of the best way at the moment to market your product, especially with influencers. So now they've sort of grown into that. But I don't necessarily follow influencers. I follow people that I find funny. So the comedy,
so
TikToks and all of that, that I like that, to uplift your mood and all of that. I don't necessarily want to see, what you're eating today and stuff like that. I want to see something. I just want to see something that's going to make me laugh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the.
And your last question, by the way,
Okay.
last question is social media, is it for you like a side hustle, or is it just a fun thing?
So I would say it's a bit of both. Initially, it started off as just something fun, when Instagram first started out, and Facebook as well. And then it sort of evolved to this marketing platform. and I never intended to be an influencer or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just I enjoyed posting, and then the brands kind of approached me, and it became a side hustle.
Okay.
So it evolved itself.
So it's so fun, and then it just...
Yeah, and I do enjoy posting, you know, doing photo shoots and all of that. So I think being affiliated with brands is just sort of a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you asking me, and I feel honored that I was the first person out of your norm to come in. Yeah, it was a pleasure.